everybody, we are back on High Noon with Indaclub and Ubivator once again. Unfortunately, we are still without the rest of my equipment to do the fancy intros, so still bear with me for a little while longer while I get all that stuff sorted. We see Indaclub here starting solar, which is interesting. Wind speed can go up to 12 as a maximum on this map. Average of 9 though. It's not the best in the world, but it's not terrible. And let's have a look at Ubivator start. So Ubivator over here starting as Armada again. Going vehicles as well. And predominantly building wins, as you can see here, starting on a triple point as well, as opposed to Indaclub, who was starting in a double metal point. Now, both players have access to the South Sea, so they will be contesting each other in that location. The reason they've probably gone vehicles here, just as I was about to say, is for the Beaver, which will give amphibious construction vehicle. This amphibious construction vehicle will be able to make its way down here, get those on the island, and just kind of cause problems. We did see on a recent video on this map that there was a interesting play where someone moved their commander down here and then built a factory down here and was just pressuring their opponent, which was actually in Ubivator's position, so up here. And just sending tanks constantly whilst applying pressure from two directions, and it was unable for them to defend. And this factory was so far away from their base that they couldn't really deal with it whilst getting pressured from the front. So potentially is what we're going to see a Ubivator attempt here today. We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, no amphibious constructors here from Indaclub. They are more expensive when it comes to energy wise and metal, only by a little bit. Now, another thing I've noticed, this water here is low enough that the scouts will not be able to fire once they're in the water. So controlling this position is very, very important. Indaclub's position to start all the way so far at the back does make it difficult for him to control this. So I don't know what his thoughts are on this position. It's probably so that he can defend here and then build most of his economy up here. By having units pumping out here, we'll be able to help defend this kind of bottom side and up here with more ease. But it does mean that it's going to be a lot harder for him to control the front. So we'll see what happens with Indaclub's decision here. Ubivator is now aware, clearly aware, his opponent has gone by scouting all of the normal start positions on the map, and not finding him means he's clearly either in this top corner or here. There's nowhere else he could go. Well, we can see that Ubivator's commander is already on the front line here. Being able to build a bunch of LLTs is going to basically lock off this side. Now, both players have access to amphibious tanks. The Pincer for Armada and the Garpike for Cortex. So we'll see if they get any use. The one that could be most impacted by that would be Ubivator here. Some tanks coming up through the water would cause significant problems for the base of Ubivator. Ubivator really struggling with energy though right now due to his reliance on wind. He is having to invest quite a bit into solar now in order to kind of counteract that. This map though does have several geo points. As we can see, there's one there, one right outside Ubivator's base, and that is quite a lot of energy to be had on a 1v1. Not only that, it's quite a lot of metal to be had on this map as well, considering it is designed around 3v3 or 4v4. Now, does Indaclub see? Yes, he's aware that Ubivator is on the hill here. Building the LLT in this position isn't the best, because if units come up through the water, the LLT is only going to be able to shoot when they're out here. maybe positioning it a bit further back up the hill so that the cone is kind of like this would be better. But yeah, we'll see. See if he builds any torpedo defenses. It doesn't look like he is, so he is giving away this kind of section here. I'm hoping that this LLT will do the job for him. Again, amphibious tanks will be able to make a move very quickly through that and not really cause too much of a problem. We do see that he has finally sent out a muskrat here, but it's a little too late as Ubivator already has most of this water. Neither player sent any amphibious stuff to the top just yet. And I feel like this is going to be a relatively slow game here. Indaclub now finally making his way to the front, building some LLTs to stop any form of push, but Ubivator also kind of being very passive here. He only has that many combat units, 8 total, and instead is just focusing purely on economy. You can see his next beaver is making its way to the North Sea. And it looks like he may be preparing here to go geo. But no, he's just trying to pump out as much wind as possible, by the looks of it. He does have the energy to go geo if he wanted to. But instead just chaining up a bunch of windmills is what his plan is for now. Meanwhile, Indaclub surprisingly did not build any of his economy up there. Instead, just building out all in solars down here. He has not built any winds at all here. So this does give him a bit of an advantage in a way. So he's using a lot of metal now, right? But this is kind of like a bank of metal, if you think of it that way. Like, if he does decide to go Tech 2, he could use all this at a later date. And we do see that Indaclub has detected this metal extractor underwater and is now forced to build a torpedo defense in order to deal with it. And Ubivator hasn't spotted it. And because the mech was built off to the side, this mech will get built and then nothing will happen with it. Where is he going? Oh, he's building a radar. Well, that's interesting. And we'll see this mech now will get built, but nothing will happen. It won't spin. Okay, which means he's actually just losing free energy a second here for nothing. Which is kind of a good strength of building stuff off to the side because your opponent doesn't necessarily see it. He still hasn't seen it now either. As soon as this radar gets built, he will, but... Oh, briefly there for a second, we did see a naval factory being planned by Ubivator here. Naval is not a bad choice. If you control the center with boats, it does make it difficult to kind of contest. Now, one problem that Ubivator will have is that subs, I don't think, can pass through here at all. So it is just boats and only boats. Radar is up. Ubivator able to see a lot and actually sees that metal extractor now and is choosing to ignore it, it seems. I'd say that Indaclub has focused more on units now. Problem being is there are a lot of mines here now, medium mines, and they will do a lot of damage to any of these tanks that happen to roll up into that line. Now, he should have got the notification saying mines detected. So we'll see what Indaclub's play is here. Oh, surprisingly, he's built his own mine layer. Now, these did used to have a mine clearing weapon, which you never see. But it seems like maybe they just give vision of mines now instead. It used to have a really annoying weapon that you would have to shoot and it would do like a small Juno area. But no, instead it just seems to make a way, and a huge swamp of incisors have now broken through Ubivator's front line. 30 incisors and boats are not going to be able to stop that. At the same time though, Ubivator has transitioned to Tech 2. I don't know if 2 bulls is gonna cut it, but it seems to be doing a very good job. Gonna lose a lot of build power. The Geo goes, and that takes a lot of those incisors as well. If Indaclub is able to take out this factory though, it's going to be a huge setback for Ubivator. The wreck still remains though, so it's a lot of metal still left. And now these incisors are spreading out, just going to inflict as much damage as possible. More incisors are making their way back around again. At the same time, this front line of Ubivators is slowly but surely collapsing. And the only thing Ubivator can do right now is build boats. And needless to say, that isn't really helping the matter. He has 1 bull left. These incisors around the back are slowly making their way around, just killing any of the economy that they can. At the same time, a good push across the middle here. And the mines did not do what they needed to, and Ubivator's comm just stood there, slowly getting whistled to death. Oh, sorry, lashed at this rate. And Ubivator has moved his boats here on the mini-map to block any more reinforcements. But whilst Ubivator was investing in sea, Indaclub was invested in land, and the D-guns take out a big chunk of units. Using the mine layer here in order to keep his units up to strength. Ubivator does manage to take out a lot. Is it enough to save him? As he tries to sneak up the hill, the bull has turned up. D-guns doing a great job here. Blitzes finally make their appearance. Unable to send any reinforcements, Indaclub is left with just these units. Ubivator's commander is up to 13% health. And only 2 boats left, 3 boats left, more boats on their way, but unable to impact actually any of the economy of Indaclub here. He's just kind of biding time with these boats. They will slowly get killed. An attempt to rebuild eco kind of doesn't end up working. No energy for Ubivator here, as pretty much all of his economy has gone down in smoke. A bit over there. And the choice to go boats has kind of backfired on Ubivator. Without having a strong army to defend, he has kind of let the masses flow through the middle. The boats were not strong enough to hold the line. You know, maybe if a cruiser had gotten down here, or a destroyer, maybe they could have impacted some of this, but I doubt it. And here come the bombers now. As Ubivator attempts to escape into the sea. This 1 bull is just doing its best to try and stem the tide, but what it's also doing was keeping the force away from the remnants of Ubivator's base. He is trying to rebuild here. Maybe building up the Tech 2 metal extractors might not be the best of choices here. Probably just needs units, but it's a little too late now. Attempting to build sprinters with the console here. He has a single one, which can do nothing against all of those bombers. And you can have all the micro in the world, but when you are completely overpowered like this right now, I don't see Ubivator able to bring this back. Bomber's not doing the best work, to be fair. And Indaclub has been kind of denied from moving through the sea at the moment. But it doesn't really matter that much. I mean, all the reclaim, Ubivator is actually getting all of the reclaim. 4K in the center here. There are res bots already here, though. And the bombers slowly whittling down what's left of this. Hovercraft also being planned by Ubivator. Both players overflowing metal at this point. But losing pretty much the entirety of the land should be a death sentence for Ubivator. Aftermap is C. So we will see. But I don't think he's going to get enough of this metal, and now losing his construction ship. Depends how quick Indaclub can get in there, get a bunch of reclaim, and if he can keep these boats at bay. And say goodbye Resbots as they just all get annihilated instantly. Indaclub just doesn't have the build power right now, which you can see is attempting to build. Ubivator trying to rebuild, gets a vehicle factory on the land up here. It's not over. I mean, yeah, realistically, it should be over. There should be no world that Ubivator is able to bring this back. But we have seen weirder things happen, so who knows? Having to deal now with shurikens though as well is going to prove very, very, very difficult for Ubivator. He does have some skaters in there, but it's more skaters means less actual firepower. And now as he's dealing with a combined force of hovercraft, aircraft and tanks, you can see how Indaclub is keeping this hole open by just slowly destroying these units. And at the same time, along the top, factory has been spotted. Ubivator's attempt to rebuild detected for now, at least. All the eco that was at the back here as well, also destroyed by this couple of tanks that went up there. And surprisingly, we have a mine layer here that's just chilling. He could have like maybe booby trapped some of the mexes rather, just to cause him some more problems. Nothing yet. Indaclub seems to be amassing hovercraft. He might be going for a push on what's left of Ubivator's naval base. And Indaclub just in a tremendously strong position here, but is unable to basically put the nail in the coffin. He's constantly basically fighting over this reclaim field, which there is a lot of metal here, so I get it, but at the same time really able to do too much. No radar vision now though from Ubivator, struggling on everything, and these hovers now are going to be able to just go whoop straight to the base now that one radar has been destroyed. I think that will probably be the end of Ubivator. Most of his energy production currently is over here. He does have some vision from these mexes. You can see there, he's just seen a few. He's going to desperately try and spread out some ships here in order to catch them. Skater's able to provide radar as well here, and this is where Ubivator will struggle as he desperately tries to rush forces to stop these hovercraft. Are they just going to be able to make it into the back, take out the energy production that Ubivator so desperately needs? And yet, after losing that, and not only that, look at this huge force up here.
Ended.
And Ubivator's excuse is boring map. Yes, because it is the map's fault. Well, so there you go. Indaclub victorious, and shows that the greedy Tech 2 on this map does not necessarily seem to be the play here. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe. We're so close to 5K. It'd be great to be there by Christmas. And I'll see you all next time.